Discover modern Stoicism, 11 secrets to transform your life and find true happiness. What if you could face every challenge with calm, make decisions with clarity, and find true happiness amidst the chaos of modern life? Life isn't always that simple. We all make mistakes or let emotions take over. But modern Stoicism offers a powerful solution. It's more than just ancient philosophy. It's a practical guide to navigating life's toughest moments. The Stoics believed the world would constantly test us, so they developed timeless principles to help us stay on the right path. In this video, I'll share 11 Stoic secrets that have transformed the way I live, and they can do the same for you. These simple yet profound ideas, crafted over 2,000 years ago, hold the power to reshape your mindset, strengthen your resilience, and bring lasting peace to your life. Stay with me to the end, and I promise you'll walk away with tools to live more purposefully starting today. If this resonates, support the Stoic Secrets community by liking and subscribing. Let's begin. Overview of Stoicism. Stoicism is not merely a relic of ancient philosophy. It is a profound and practical way of living that transcends the centuries. The Stoics, such as Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, understood that life is unpredictable and rife with challenges that can test our patience, wisdom, and inner strength. Rather than seeking to control the uncontrollable, Stoicism teaches us a critical truth. We may not have power over external events, but we possess absolute control over how we respond to them. This single insight can transform the way we approach life. As Epictetus wisely said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. By embracing this principle, you realize that hardship is not a tyrant, but a teacher, offering you an opportunity to grow stronger, more patient, and more self-aware. Practicing Stoicism is akin to training your mind to remain calm amidst the storms of life. When faced with uncertainty or adversity, whether it be the loss of a job, a painful breakup, or the stress of modern life, Stoicism reminds you to focus on what is within your control, your actions, your thoughts, and your attitudes. This is empowering because it shifts your perspective from being a victim of circumstance to becoming an architect of your response. You no longer need to waste energy lamenting the actions of others or resenting life's unpredictability. Instead, as Marcus Aurelius urged, you learn to welcome every event as part of the design of nature, finding peace in accepting what cannot be changed and channeling your efforts into what can be improved. In the chaos of the modern world, Stoicism serves as an anchor, grounding you in principles that cultivate resilience, mental clarity, and emotional balance. Imagine approaching life's inevitable setbacks with the calm assurance that they are not obstacles but stepping stones. The Stoic practice of reframing adversity allows you to see the hidden opportunities in challenges. A setback at work becomes a chance to develop new skills. A difficult conversation becomes a test of your patience and empathy. Even failure, through the Stoic lens, is not final, but a valuable teacher that sharpens your character and wisdom. Seneca captured this beautifully when he wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Today, as in ancient Rome, the world can feel overwhelming with its rapid pace and endless uncertainties. Modern Stoicism, with its timeless principles, offers a roadmap to navigate these complexities with grace and focus. It challenges you to embrace a life of integrity, to prioritize what truly matters, and to let go of superficial distractions. In doing so, you begin to cultivate a state of inner peace that no external turmoil can disturb. As you embark on this journey, you are not striving for perfection, but for progress. becoming a little wiser, a little calmer, and a little stronger each day. In the chapters ahead, I will share with you 11 Stoic principles that have the potential to revolutionize the way you live, think, and respond to life's ups and downs. These principles, though ancient in origin, are deeply relevant to the challenges you face today. They will teach you how to find strength in adversity, clarity in confusion, and ultimately, happiness in a world that often feels chaotic. As we explore these lessons, remember that the power to transform your life lies not in the external world, but in the steady cultivation of your inner world. Let us take this journey together and uncover the secrets to living a life of wisdom, courage, and unshakable peace. 11 Stoic rules to improve life. Number 1. Remember death every day. Imagine for a moment that you woke up today knowing it could be your last. What would you do differently? Would you tell someone you love them? Start that project you've been putting off. Maybe you'd simply pause and savor the warm sunlight on your face. The Stoics, wise guides of ancient philosophy, understood the profound power of this mindset. Seneca, one of their most celebrated thinkers, often urged his students to remember death daily, not as a grim or morbid exercise, but as a way to awaken to the beauty and fleeting nature of life. By acknowledging that death is inevitable, the Stoics teach us to live fully and intentionally, cutting through the noise of trivial worries and distractions. Think about it. When we recognize that time is finite, we stop procrastinating and wasting precious hours on things that don't truly matter. We start focusing on the moments, actions, and relationships that bring genuine value to our lives. Let me share a story to bring this to life. A friend of mine, let's call him Mark, was the classic someday kind of person. He always had big dreams, traveling the world, starting his own business, reconnecting with estranged family members. But his excuse was always the same. I'll get to it someday. Then, one day, Mark had a close brush with death. A near-fatal car accident left him shaken but alive, and that moment transformed him. He realized how fragile and unpredictable life is. Suddenly, someday wasn't good enough anymore. Within weeks, Mark quit the job that drained him, launched his long-dreamed business, and even repaired his relationship with his father. He told me later, that accident wasn't just a wake-up call, it was a gift. It forced me to stop waiting and start living. And isn't that what we all need? A reminder to stop waiting for the right time to live the life we want. The Stoics understood that remembering death is not about fear, but about freedom. When you truly grasp that each day could be your last, you're free to live boldly, to act with urgency, and to align your actions with your deepest values. Ask yourself, what are you putting off because you think you'll have time later? Are you fully present with the people you love? Are you pursuing what matters most to you? These questions, inspired by the Stoic practice of remembering death, can guide you toward a life of purpose and fulfillment. The beauty of this practice lies in its simplicity. You don't need a near-death experience like Mark to wake up to life's impermanence. All it takes is a moment each day to remind yourself, this time I have is limited. Maybe you jot it down in a journal or reflect on it during a quiet walk. Some Stoics even carried memento mori, physical reminders of death like a coin or a piece of art, to keep this truth close at hand. However you choose to practice, the goal is the same, to shift your focus from what doesn't matter to what does. You'll find that when you stop taking time for granted, you begin to savor life more deeply. The laughter of a friend, the satisfaction of meaningful work, the stillness of a sunset, all of it becomes richer, more vivid, and more precious. The Stoics believed that embracing death isn't about despair but about gratitude. When you accept the fleeting nature of life, every moment becomes an opportunity to live with intention and courage. You're no longer paralyzed by fear of what might happen because you understand that life itself is unpredictable and fragile. And rather than being consumed by regret for the past or anxiety for the future, you root yourself in the present, where life truly happens. So I challenge you. What will you do differently today, knowing that tomorrow is not guaranteed? Will you reach out to someone you've been meaning to call? Take that first step toward a long-held dream, or perhaps simply pause and appreciate the moment you're in right now. As the Stoics teach us, remembering death is not about mourning the inevitable. It's about celebrating the time we do have and making the most of it. The lesson here is simple but profound. Life is short, but it is rich with possibility. When you embrace the Stoic secret of remembering death, you unlock a mindset that allows you to focus on what truly matters. You'll live with urgency, gratitude, and purpose. And in doing so, you'll discover not only how to transform your life, but how to find true happiness. So tell me, how will you make today count? Number 2, focus on what you can control. This simple yet profound idea lies at the heart of modern Stoicism and carries the potential to transform how you see the world and navigate its challenges. Think about it for a moment. How much time and energy do we waste worrying about things that are beyond our grasp? How often do we find ourselves tied up in knots over someone else's behavior, an unpredictable event, or an outcome that we have no power to alter? The Stoics, with their timeless wisdom, teach us that peace and resilience come from focusing only on what is within our control and releasing the grip on what is not. Epictetus reminds us, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." So let me ask you, what would happen if you truly embraced this mindset? How much lighter would your burdens feel? Let's explore this deeper because it's not just an abstract idea. It's a practice you can adopt right now. In life, there are countless situations you'll face, some within your influence and others entirely out of reach. The key is to draw a clear line between the two. You can control your actions, attitudes, and responses. You cannot control other people's decisions, natural events, or the ultimate outcomes of your efforts. Take a student preparing for an important exam as an example. They can't control how the teacher will grade their paper, nor can they control unexpected distractions, or even the difficulty of the test itself. But what can they control? Their dedication to studying, the focus they bring to their preparation, and how they manage their time. That's where their power lies. And when they channel their energy into these areas, not only do they become more effective, but they also protect their peace of mind. This is the essence of modern Stoicism, directing your attention and effort to the things you can influence and finding freedom in letting go of the rest. It's liberating, isn't it? To realize that you don't have to carry the weight of the uncontrollable on your shoulders. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor who governed during turbulent times, wisely said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Imagine what it would be like to live this way, to stop being tossed around by the unpredictable storms of life, and instead anchor yourself in your own steady responses. It doesn't mean you'll never face difficulty or disappointment, but it does mean you'll approach these moments with clarity and calmness. I want you to reflect on this in your own life. Are there situations right now that are draining your energy because you're trying to control the uncontrollable? Maybe it's a tense relationship where you wish the other person would behave differently, or perhaps it's a work project where the final outcome depends on factors outside your control. What if you redirected your focus to your own actions instead? How you communicate in that relationship, how you manage your tasks, or how you show up in the moment. By doing this, you reclaim your power and start living with intention rather than reaction. As the Stoics believed, it's not the external events that disturb us, but our judgments about them. So, why not shift those judgments? This practice of focusing on what you can control isn't about passivity or indifference. It's about empowering yourself to take meaningful action while letting go of unnecessary suffering. When you invest your energy in the right places, you create a ripple effect, not just for yourself, but for those around you. People will notice your calm demeanor and thoughtful actions. They might even be inspired to do the same. And here's the beauty of it. By focusing on what you can control, you gain clarity, reduce stress, and build the kind of resilience that can weather life's uncertainties. Modern Stoicism invites you to take ownership of your responses and embrace the freedom that comes from focusing on what is truly within your reach. So, I ask you, what is one area of your life where you can start applying this today? The Stoics remind us that while we can't control outcomes, we always have control over our own effort. And in the end, isn't that where true happiness and fulfillment lie? Not in trying to shape the uncontrollable, but in shaping ourselves. Number 3. Conquer your morning. The Stoic principle of conquering your morning goes beyond the realm of productivity. It is a deliberate approach to setting your life on a path of clarity, intention, and purpose. The morning serves as a crucial foundation, a compass that determines the direction and quality of your entire day. The Stoics, renowned for their practical wisdom, recognized the immense value of beginning the day with discipline and intention. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who bore the weight of ruling an empire, exemplified this practice. Despite his power and the distractions of luxury, he chose to start his mornings grounded in purpose rather than indulgence. He reflected in his meditations, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." For Aurelius, the morning wasn't merely a time to accomplish tasks. It was an opportunity to reaffirm his values and orient his life around what truly mattered. To weave this timeless Stoic wisdom into your life, begin each morning with mindful intention. Instead of drifting through these critical hours or falling prey to distractions, create a routine that brings structure and clarity. Start with journaling, a practice that bridges reflection and forward planning. Write down your intentions for the day, revisit lessons from the previous day, and chart a purposeful course forward. This simple act sharpens your self-awareness, helping you identify your strengths and weaknesses while solidifying your goals. Seneca's advice remains as relevant today as it was 2 millennia ago. We should every night call ourselves to account. What infirmity have I mastered today? What passions opposed? What temptation resisted? What virtue acquired? While Seneca advocated for reflection at night, the morning provides the ideal moment to act on these insights and begin with a clear mind and directed energy. Once your mind is prepared, energize your body through physical activity. This needn't be an intense workout, whether it's a quick walk, a few yoga stretches, or a jog. Any form of movement revitalizes your body and enhances your focus. Exercise is not only essential for health, but also serves as a powerful reminder that you are in control of your actions. It primes your mind for the day ahead and reinforces the Stoic belief in aligning action with intention. Epictetus captures this idea succinctly. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Physical activity mirrors this principle by turning your aspirations into tangible acts, setting a tone of discipline and accomplishment for the day. With your mind and body aligned, channel your focus into your most meaningful work while your mental energy is at its peak. Prioritize tasks that contribute to your personal growth, professional goals, or relationships, and tackle them before the distractions of the day creep in. By dedicating your mornings to intentional, high-value work, you establish momentum that carries through the rest of the day. This approach reflects the Stoic ideal of living in accordance with your values, choosing what is within your control rather than reacting to external circumstances. Each productive morning becomes a building block for a more fulfilling and purpose-driven life. As you make steady progress, you'll find yourself better equipped to handle life's inevitable challenges with resilience and calm. Mastering your mornings doesn't just shape your day, it reshapes your life. These early hours become a crucible for building resilience, strengthening self-discipline, and cultivating a spirit of gratitude and purpose. Each morning offers a fresh start, a chance to recalibrate, grow, and strive toward your highest self. As Seneca reminds us, begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life. By consistently starting your mornings with intention and clarity, you unlock one of the most profound Stoic secrets for achieving true happiness and fulfillment. This practice becomes not only a habit, but a cornerstone for living a life guided by purpose, wisdom, and gratitude. If you've ever embraced meaningful mornings to set the tone for your day, or are looking to conquer your morning in your own way, comment "My morning, my life" below. Share your habits, lessons, or experiences. Your contributions not only inspire others, but also help build a community focused on discipline, purpose, and inner peace. Number 4. Don't suffer for imaginary problems. How often do you find yourself lying awake at night, trapped in a web of thoughts about things that may never happen? Modern Stoicism teaches us that much of our suffering arises not from reality, but from the stories our minds craft in anticipation of problems. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, encapsulated this truth beautifully. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Your mind, in its ceaseless activity, has a tendency to conjure up worst-case scenarios, painting vivid pictures of disasters that rarely, if ever, materialize. These mental projections not only drain your energy, but also rob you of the ability to live in the present moment. When you carry the weight of tomorrow's what-ifs, you lose today's peace. The truth is, most of the problems you fear are no more real than a shadow cast on the wall. By understanding this, you can begin to let go of unnecessary anxiety and focus on the here and now. So, how do you apply this lesson to your everyday life? It starts with recognizing when your thoughts veer into the territory of imaginary problems. The next time you feel overwhelmed by worry, pause and ask yourself, what is the actual problem in front of me right now? This simple question can ground you, forcing your mind to distinguish between what's real and what's merely a product of your imagination. The Stoics believed that clarity comes when you narrow your focus to the present moment. Instead of allowing your thoughts to spiral into uncertainty, address what is actionable today. For example, if you're anxious about an upcoming presentation, shift your focus from worrying about how others will judge you to preparing thoroughly. Practice your speech, refine your slides, and ensure you're well rested. By anchoring your attention on preparation, you take control of the situation rather than letting it control you. This approach is not about ignoring potential challenges, but about facing them with calm and rationality. You cannot always control the outcomes of life, but you can control how you prepare and respond. Worrying about rejection, failure, or uncertainty will not change the future. It only diminishes your capacity to act effectively in the present. The key is to replace unproductive worry with purposeful action. Take the example of someone fearing financial insecurity. Instead of endlessly ruminating about what could go wrong, they could create a budget, start saving, or learn new skills to increase their income. action transforms anxiety into progress. In today's fast-paced world, where information overload and societal pressures fuel endless speculation about the future, modern Stoicism offers a refuge. By focusing on what you can control, you reclaim your inner peace. Think of life as a boat on a vast ocean. The waves of uncertainty will always surround you, but you don't need to capsize in fear of every storm. Instead, steer your ship with confidence, adjusting your sails to meet challenges as they arise. This mindset allows you to focus your energy on what truly matters, rather than squandering it on imaginary storms that may never arrive. As you embrace this practice, you'll find yourself becoming more resilient in the face of life's uncertainties. Remember, most of the things you worry about will never come to pass. And even if they do, you will often find that you are far more capable of handling them than you initially believed. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." The power to revoke fear and anxiety lies in your hands. Focus on the present, on what you can do today, and let go of the imaginary burdens that weigh you down. Modern Stoicism teaches you to live with clarity and intentionality. In doing so, you free yourself from the unnecessary suffering created by your own mind. By narrowing your attention to the present and addressing challenges as they arise, you step into a life marked by calm, confidence, and true happiness. Isn't that what we're all seeking? Number 5. Be hard on yourself, kind to others. One of the most transformative principles of Stoicism is this: be hard on yourself, yet kind to others. It's a simple concept, but when you truly embrace it, it has the power to reshape your life and your relationships. The Stoics believed that the path to virtue lies in holding ourselves to the highest moral and ethical standards. This means taking full responsibility for our actions, owning up to our mistakes, and constantly striving to improve. It's not about perfection, but about progress, a relentless commitment to living a life guided by integrity, courage, and wisdom. At the same time, they taught that we must extend empathy and understanding to those around us. While we are unyielding in our expectations of ourselves, we cannot impose those same standards on others. Why? Because everyone is on their own unique journey, facing challenges we may never fully see or understand. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, summed this up beautifully in Meditations. Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. This wisdom calls us to lead by example, to embody the virtues we value, not by forcing them on others, but by inspiring them through our actions. Imagine this in a modern context. You're working on a team project and a colleague misses a deadline because of a mistake. Your instinct might be frustration or even anger, especially if you pride yourself on your punctuality. But the Stoic path asks for a different response. Instead of snapping or criticizing, take a step back and offer support. What caused the delay? How can you help them improve? When you respond with understanding, you foster an environment where growth is possible for both of you. Holding others to unrealistic standards often leads to resentment, but leading with kindness creates bonds built on trust and respect. I remember a story from my own life that illustrates this well. Early in my career, I had a mentor who embodied this Stoic ideal. One day, I made a significant error on a project, a mistake that could have cost us a major client. I expected to be scolded, maybe even fired. Instead, my mentor sat me down, walked me through what went wrong, and showed me how to prevent it from happening again. He didn't excuse my mistake, but he didn't let it define me either. That moment changed how I viewed accountability and kindness. I started to hold myself to higher standards, but I also realized the power of treating others with patience and respect. Ask yourself, how would your relationships change if you practiced this balance every day? How would it feel to demand the best of yourself while offering grace to others? This principle of being hard on yourself and kind to others isn't just about relationships. It's also about control. Stoics remind us that while we can govern our own actions and attitudes, we cannot control others. Attempting to do so only leads to frustration and disconnection. When you let go of the need to control others and instead focus on improving yourself, you free yourself from unnecessary stress. It's liberating to realize that you can choose how to respond to the imperfections of others. This doesn't mean tolerating harm or injustice. It means addressing such issues with wisdom and tact, not anger or judgment. By doing so, you inspire others to rise to their potential, not through coercion, but through admiration for your example. Think about your own life. How do you respond when someone disappoints you? Do you meet them with empathy, or do you hold them to the same rigid standards you set for yourself? Consider this. If you were the one who fell short, how would you want others to treat you? These are questions worth reflecting on as you navigate your relationships. The Stoics believed that virtue is not something we achieve in isolation. It is cultivated through our interactions with others. By being kind, we create a ripple effect, encouraging those around us to act with greater understanding and integrity. The lesson here is clear. Strive for excellence in your own life, but don't expect perfection from others. Be rigorous in your pursuit of virtue, but generous in your dealings with those who are still finding their way. As you practice this balance, you'll notice a profound shift, not only in how others perceive you, but in how you perceive yourself. You'll begin to see that true strength lies not in demanding perfection from others, but in offering them the space to grow, just as you strive to grow yourself. So I leave you with this. How will you embody these Stoic secrets in your life? What steps will you take to hold yourself accountable while showing kindness to those around you? The choice is yours, and the transformation it can bring is limitless. Number 6. Talk to the dead. Imagine standing face to face with the greatest thinkers of all time, hearing their hard-earned wisdom whispering in your ear. That's what talking to the dead truly means. A profound metaphor in Stoicism for learning from the timeless lessons of those who came before us. Think about it. The struggles, joys, and questions we face today aren't entirely new. Human nature at its core hasn't changed. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, they walked the same earth, confronted the same storms of uncertainty, and emerged with insights that can guide you even now. Doesn't that resonate? Don't you find comfort in the thought that someone who ruled an empire struggled with the same anxieties and questions you do? When you immerse yourself in the words of these ancient philosophers, you engage in a kind of dialogue with history's greatest minds. And in doing so, you open a door to understanding not only the world but yourself on a deeper level. Reading the works of these thinkers isn't just about knowledge, it's about connection. You connect with their resilience, their virtues, their triumphs over adversity. It's as if they've left breadcrumbs of wisdom along the path of life, urging you to follow and find clarity. Epictetus teaches us the beauty of focusing on what we can control. Seneca reminds us that time is our most precious commodity. These lessons, born centuries ago, are still alive today, waiting for you to discover them. You see, modern Stoicism teaches us that while the world has evolved in countless ways, the essence of our challenges remains the same. The fast pace of technology, the societal pressures, and even personal relationships may seem uniquely modern, but at their core, they reflect the same struggles of balance, purpose, and fulfillment faced by the ancients. When you read their words, you realize you're not alone in your journey. Doesn't that thought empower you? It's almost as if their voices echo through the ages, reaching out to help you navigate the complexities of your own life. Take a moment to reflect on this. Are you giving yourself the chance to learn from these great minds? In a world obsessed with innovation and the next big thing, are you overlooking the profound truths already written down, tested by centuries? By engaging with their works, you don't just learn about them, you transform yourself. You adopt their mindset, their discipline, and their ability to find meaning and peace amidst chaos. Isn't that what we all seek? To live not just a good life, but a fulfilled one. The Stoics believed in the immense value of learning from the past because it holds the keys to mastering the present. Modern Stoicism embraces this idea fully, urging us to balance the ever-changing demands of today's world with the enduring wisdom of the past. As Marcus Aurelius said, "What we do now echoes in eternity." So ask yourself, how can you take the lessons of yesterday and make them a part of your life today? How can you, in a sense, talk to the dead and allow their wisdom to guide you toward a more virtuous and meaningful existence? The beauty of this practice lies in its simplicity. It doesn't require an elaborate ritual or hours of your time, just the willingness to sit quietly, open a book, and let their words speak to you. Through them, you gain not only perspective, but also the courage to confront your challenges with reason and grace. And perhaps most importantly, you learn to live with intention, making choices rooted in clarity rather than chaos. Isn't that the kind of strength you'd want to carry with you each day? As you reflect on your own life, I encourage you to pick up the works of these timeless thinkers. Let their words challenge you, inspire you, and ultimately transform you. Because in a world that often feels overwhelming and unpredictable, the wisdom of the past remains one of the most powerful tools we have to navigate the present and create a brighter future. Wouldn't it be a shame to let such a gift go unused? You've made it this far, which shows your commitment to seeking clarity and timeless wisdom. Leave a comment with the slogan, "Learn from the past, live for the present," to show that you're embracing this wisdom and ready to make it a guiding principle in your life. Stay connected. There are even more powerful lessons waiting for you to explore. Number 7. Treat success and failure the same. Life has a way of tossing us between the highs of success and the lows of failure, but how we choose to respond to these moments shapes who we are. The Stoics believed that true happiness and inner peace arise not from chasing one or avoiding the other, but from treating both with the same calm, steady hand. In today's world, we often measure ourselves by the weight of our achievements or the sting of our failures, attaching our self-worth to fleeting results. But the Stoic perspective offers a liberating alternative. Neither success nor failure defines you. They are simply events, external occurrences beyond your full control, while your response to them reflects the strength of your character. Success often arrives with applause, accolades, and validation, and it's easy to let it swell your ego or lull you into complacency. Yet, when viewed through a Stoic lens, success is not an endpoint, but a moment to reflect on the virtues that brought you there: discipline, persistence, and focus. Instead of resting on your laurels, the challenge is to continue striving, recognizing that success is as impermanent as any other external condition. On the other hand, failure can strike with a sting, often leaving us doubting ourselves or the path we've chosen. However, failure, as the Stoics teach, is not a measure of your inadequacy, but an opportunity to learn, grow, and recalibrate. By embracing failure as a teacher rather than a foe, you can transform even the heaviest setbacks into stepping stones for your future. Imagine the modern scenario of a promotion at work, a clear sign of success. While celebrating your hard work is natural, the Stoic approach invites you to go deeper. Reflect on what virtues led you to this achievement and how you can continue to cultivate them. Use the promotion as motivation to remain diligent, not a reason to rest in the glow of accomplishment. Conversely, consider a project that doesn't pan out despite your best efforts. Instead of spiraling into frustration or self-pity, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? And use the insights to adapt and improve. This mindset helps you see failure not as the end, but as a pivotal point in your growth, much like a tree strengthening its roots after a storm. The secret here, and perhaps one of the greatest Stoic secrets, is that you are neither your successes nor your failures. You are the sum of your thoughts, actions, and values. By anchoring your sense of self in what you can control, your effort, integrity, and perseverance, you free yourself from the emotional turbulence of external events. When you adopt this approach, you no longer view success as something to cling to or failure as something to fear. Both are simply part of the rhythm of life, teaching you resilience, humility, and the ability to keep moving forward. In today's fast-paced, success-driven world, it's easy to lose sight of this balance. Social media, for instance, often glorifies achievements and downplays struggles, making it seem as though everyone else is living a flawless, victorious life. Stay grounded in your values. Celebrate others without envy, and remind yourself that everyone's journey includes both victories and setbacks. By practicing equanimity, you will find that both success and failure lose their power to unsettle you. Instead, they become opportunities to grow, stay humble, and develop the inner tranquility that leads to true happiness. So the next time life hands you a win, savor it without letting it define you. When it presents a loss, welcome it as a chance to sharpen your character. Treat success and failure as two sides of the same coin, and you'll find a calm strength that carries you through life's ups and downs. After all, the greatest victory lies not in never failing, but in rising stronger each time you do. Number 8. Don't look for the easy way. When I think about the Stoic principle of avoiding the easy way, I am reminded of how often we are tempted to sidestep discomfort, hoping for quick fixes and effortless solutions. But the wisdom of Stoicism teaches us that true growth does not come from seeking comfort, but from embracing challenges and persevering through struggle. The Stoics understood that the path of least resistance, while tempting, often leads to stagnation and mediocrity. Instead, they believed that it is in facing difficulty head-on that we find our true potential. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This powerful idea reminds us that obstacles are not barriers, but opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. In modern life, where convenience is king and shortcuts are celebrated, the value of struggle often feels overlooked. Yet, the lessons of modern Stoicism are clear. Avoiding hardship may bring temporary ease, but robs you of the deeper fulfillment that comes from overcoming adversity. Think about the satisfaction you feel when you achieve something truly difficult, a career milestone, a physical feat, or even overcoming a personal fear. That sense of accomplishment doesn't come from taking the easy road. It comes from the effort, discipline, and determination you invested. The Stoics teach us that enduring difficulty with patience and fortitude builds character, fortifies the mind, and creates a deep sense of purpose. When you embrace hardship rather than avoiding it, you unlock your capacity for growth and transformation in ways you never thought possible. Consider, for example, the athlete who dreams of excelling but avoids rigorous training, choosing instead to remain within their comfort zone. That athlete may avoid temporary discomfort, but they also forfeit the opportunity to realize their potential. Conversely, the one who endures grueling workouts and pushes past their limits gains not only physical strength, but also mental toughness and discipline, qualities that extend far beyond the gym. Similarly, in your own life, whether you're pursuing a daunting career goal, navigating a challenging relationship, or facing personal setbacks, the effort and resilience required to overcome these struggles will ultimately reward you with far more than success. It will reward you with self-respect, wisdom, and a deep sense of fulfillment. The Stoics remind us that struggle is not a punishment, it is a teacher. When you face obstacles, you are given the chance to refine your character, deepen your understanding, and prove to yourself what you are capable of. This principle invites you to reframe how you see challenges, not as something to be feared, but as something to be embraced. Instead of looking for the easiest way out, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this hardship make me better? These questions shift your focus from avoidance to growth, empowering you to see every struggle as a stepping stone toward your higher self. Modern Stoicism offers us a way to navigate the challenges of today's fast-paced world with courage and clarity. When life feels overwhelming and you are tempted to take the easy way, remember that the reward lies in the journey through difficulty. Whether it's rebuilding after failure, pursuing a dream that seems out of reach, or even confronting your own fears, the Stoic path shows you that true success is not measured by avoiding discomfort, but by transforming it into strength. The next time you find yourself at a crossroads, resist the temptation to choose the easier path. Instead, embrace the challenge, knowing that the effort you invest today will shape the person you become tomorrow. Number 9. Do only one thing every day. Imagine starting your day with one simple question. What's the one thing I can do today that will move me closer to my goals? In a world that celebrates multitasking as the ultimate productivity hack, this might feel counterintuitive. But let me tell you, focusing on just one meaningful task each day is one of the most powerful Stoic secrets for transforming your life. The Stoics, wise and practical philosophers, believed that when we narrow our focus, we gain the clarity and energy to give our best to what truly matters. Think about it. How often do you find yourself juggling so many tasks that none of them get the attention they deserve? This fragmented approach leaves you exhausted, dissatisfied, and no closer to the results you're seeking. But when you focus on a single task, you create the space to work deeply, thoughtfully, and deliberately, building momentum and pride with each completed action. Let me share a story that illustrates this principle. A colleague of mine, Lisa, used to pride herself on her ability to multitask. She'd bounce between emails, meetings, brainstorming sessions, and side projects all day long, thinking she was making progress. But at the end of each day, she'd feel drained, and her to-do list barely seemed to shrink. Then she decided to experiment with a Stoic-inspired approach. Instead of trying to tackle everything at once, she began her day by identifying one meaningful task, just one, that she would focus on entirely. At first it felt strange and even inefficient, but something remarkable happened. By dedicating herself fully to one task, she found she could complete it faster, with higher quality, and with less mental fatigue. Not only did she feel a sense of accomplishment, but the ripple effect of her focused efforts began to transform her work and her confidence. Now, think about your own life. What's that one thing you've been meaning to start, but keep postponing because you're pulled in too many directions? Maybe it's a piece of a larger project at work, a personal goal like writing a book, or even a simple but meaningful task like organizing your space or spending uninterrupted time with someone you care about. When you commit to doing just one thing each day, no matter how small, you start building a habit of consistent progress. Over time, those small, focused efforts compound into significant results. Remember, the Stoics didn't measure success by the number of things you attempt. They valued the depth and quality of what you accomplish. The beauty of this practice is that it also helps you guard against burnout. How many times have you felt so overwhelmed by everything on your plate that you end up doing nothing at all? When you choose one task, you give yourself permission to let go of the rest, at least for the moment. You free yourself from the paralyzing pressure of everything all at once, and instead focus on the satisfaction of completing what's right in front of you. The Stoics believed that deliberate, intentional action was far more valuable than frantic busyness, and they were right. By directing your energy to one task at a time, you create better results, reduce stress, and cultivate a deeper sense of purpose. So here's my challenge for you. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, ask yourself, what is the one thing I can do today that will have the greatest impact? Write it down, set aside the distractions, and commit yourself fully to completing that task. It doesn't have to be monumental, it just has to matter. And when you finish, take a moment to celebrate the sense of accomplishment that comes from focused effort. Over time, you'll notice how this practice not only brings you closer to your goals, but also shifts your mindset. You'll feel less scattered, more confident, and more in control of your life. The lesson is simple yet profound. Doing one thing well every day is far more effective than attempting to do everything at once. It's a practice rooted in wisdom and patience, and it works because it aligns your actions with your values. By embracing this Stoic secret, you can create a life of steady progress, meaningful achievement, and true fulfillment. So, what will your one thing be today? If you've made it this far, you've touched the core of focus and meaning in your life. Leave a comment saying, "I'm choosing one thing to start," as a way to commit to yourself that you'll act intentionally and focus on what really matters today. Join me in practicing this approach, because your journey toward deep transformation has much more to explore. Number 10. Ask yourself if it is necessary. In the whirlwind of modern life, where every moment seems packed with obligations, distractions, and endless to-do lists, this simple question has the power to transform how you approach your day-to-day existence. Think about it. How often do you find yourself saying yes to tasks, commitments, or habits without pausing to reflect on their true value? The Stoics believed that intentional living is the key to happiness, and at the heart of this belief is the discipline of asking yourself, is this necessary? Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, urged us to, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. This principle isn't just about morality, it's about living with clarity and purpose. So let me ask you, how much of what fills your day truly matters, and how much is just noise? When you start to question the necessity of your actions, you begin to untangle yourself from the web of unnecessary distractions. Imagine how liberating it would feel to focus only on what truly serves your well-being and goals. The truth is, many of us are caught in the cycle of busy work, tasks that make us feel productive, but contribute little to our long-term happiness or success. This is where modern Stoicism steps in, offering us a roadmap to simplify and prioritize. When you pause and ask yourself if something is necessary, you create space to evaluate whether it aligns with your values. For example, think about the hours you might spend mindlessly scrolling through social media. Does it add meaning to your life? Does it nurture your personal growth? If not, why are you giving it so much of your precious time? By asking yourself this question, you empower yourself to make intentional choices. And when you make choices with intention, you stop running on autopilot and start living with purpose. This doesn't mean eliminating joy or spontaneity. It's about being mindful of where you place your energy. Seneca once wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." How often do we let moments slip by, consumed by activities that don't truly matter? By cutting out the unnecessary, you create room for the things that bring genuine fulfillment, meaningful relationships, personal growth, and the pursuit of your higher goals. I believe this principle also teaches us to value balance and self-care. In a culture that often glorifies overworking and hustle, it's easy to neglect rest or to feel guilty for taking a moment to breathe. But ask yourself, aren't rest and rejuvenation necessary for you to show up as your best self? When we stop seeing rest as indulgent and start seeing it as essential, we allow ourselves to recharge and refocus. This is a vital part of the Stoic approach to life, where everything, even rest, serves a meaningful purpose. What would it look like if you gave yourself permission to let go of activities that don't contribute to your well-being, even if they seem urgent in the moment? Here's the beauty of this practice. By asking, "Is this necessary?" you start to uncover what truly matters to you. It's a question that not only declutters your schedule, but also sharpens your sense of purpose. Modern Stoicism reminds us that life is too short to waste on trivial pursuits. Every moment, every decision, every action has the potential to bring you closer to the life you want, or to pull you further away. When you adopt this mindset, you stop seeing your time as something to fill and start seeing it as something to cherish and invest wisely. I encourage you to take a moment today and reflect. Are there things in your life right now that feel like obligations but don't align with your values? Are there distractions pulling you away from what's truly important? What would happen if you gave yourself the freedom to let those go? By doing this, you simplify your life and create room for what matters most. The Stoics knew that simplicity is not about having less, it's about living with intention. As you begin to ask yourself if something is necessary, you'll find that you not only become more focused and efficient, but also more content and at peace with the life you're building. Isn't that a gift worth pursuing? Number 11. Love your destiny. The Stoic philosophy teaches us not just to accept, but to fully embrace and love our destiny, even when life takes unexpected turns. Life, as you and I know, often deviates from our plans, throwing challenges and setbacks our way. Yet the Stoics remind us that it's not the events themselves that define us, but how we choose to respond. This idea, captured in the concept of amor fati, the love of one's fate, is one of the key Stoic secrets for cultivating resilience and inner peace. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything that is thrown into it," illustrating that every hardship can fuel our growth, strengthen our character, and sharpen our perspective if we allow it. Loving your destiny doesn't mean surrendering to hardship or passively enduring life's difficulties. Instead, it's about seeing every experience, whether good or bad, as an opportunity for growth. Imagine facing a professional setback like losing a job or failing at a goal. Rather than dwelling on the unfairness, you can view this as a chance to learn, adapt, and pivot towards something better. As Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This mindset shifts you from resistance to acceptance, turning life's challenges into stepping stones for personal development. In our modern world, where comparisons and complaints are amplified by social media and societal pressures, this principle is especially relevant. Loving your destiny allows you to reclaim control, finding opportunities where others might only see obstacles. A health issue, for example, might inspire healthier habits and a deeper appreciation for life, while financial difficulties could teach you gratitude for what truly matters. By embracing circumstances rather than resisting them, you open yourself to growth, wisdom, and fulfillment that external achievements alone can't provide. The Stoic approach to destiny also involves trusting that every experience contributes to a larger purpose. Seneca wisely observed, "A good person dyes events with their own color and turns whatever happens to their own benefit." This teaches us to reframe difficulties as opportunities for self-improvement, empowering us to create meaning even in the darkest moments. Accepting what is, instead of resisting, reduces suffering and cultivates a sense of peace and freedom. By loving your destiny, you develop the courage to face life's uncertainties with strength and grace. This doesn't mean you'll never feel pain or frustration, but it does mean you won't be controlled by them. Instead of asking, "Why me?" you ask, "What can I learn from this?" Every challenge becomes a lesson, every setback a stepping stone, and every triumph a testament to your resilience. Loving your destiny is an act of trust in yourself and in the greater design of life, enabling you to approach each day with openness and strength, knowing you have the power to endure and grow. By embracing amor fati, you unlock one of the most profound Stoic secrets for happiness. You stop struggling against what is, and instead focus your energy on what you can make of your circumstances. This mindset brings lasting peace and fulfillment as you learn to flow with life rather than resist it. When you love your destiny, you inspire others to do the same, transforming not only your own experience but also the world around you. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." Through this practice, you cultivate a life filled with purpose, courage, and enduring joy. And that wraps up our journey into Discover Modern Stoicism, 11 Secrets to Transform Your Life and Find True Happiness. The Stoic secrets we've discussed are not just ancient wisdom, but practical tools for modern living, helping you build resilience, focus on what you can control, and find peace in a chaotic world. Modern Stoicism shows us how to face challenges with strength, clarity, and gratitude, offering a path to a more purposeful life. Now it's your turn. How will you apply these principles? Start with just one. Let go of imaginary fears or focus on what's within your control. Small, consistent steps lead to lasting change. If this resonated with you, share your thoughts below. Which principle stood out most to you? Let's keep the conversation going. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to spread these timeless lessons. Thanks for watching Stoic Secrets. Until next time, stay grounded and stay stoic.